Nice wheels. So today we're working on a Volkswagen Touran. It's come straight from the auction for a customer of mine, and it's in absolutely beautiful condition, as you can see. It's a lovely looked after vehicle. They haven't eaten or drank in it or smoked in any way, shape or form. They've loved it, weekly cleaned it, and just cherished this vehicle. You have to wonder about the previous owner's buying thought process with this car. I've got lots of small children and a dog. Yes, beige. Beige is the good colour option in this scenario. I mean, just look at it. Why would you do it? Why would you even build a people carrier with a beige interior? It's never ever going to end well, is it? So here I am in my spaceman's outfit, and you're probably asking why. Well, if you can imagine, the interior smells every bit as good as these seats look. In the back, the auction valet has done their usual trick of, well, we'll just throw the mats in the back and not bother cleaning them. And if you're wondering what the auction valet is deep cleaning the car, well, by the looks of it, not a lot. And it's onto the hoovering. So I'm going to be using a selection of brushes and a drill brush. If you've not seen a drill brush before, it's just literally what it says on the tin. It's a brush on the end of the drill. The idea of it is it's just, obviously, instead of you scrubbing away for hours, it just takes the labour out of it, really. It's very good at whirring around and getting all the really hard to get little bits out of the grain in the carpet. It just fluffs them up again as well, which is really good. The airline's also a really good bit of kit. It just gets into all those hard to reach area and just blows the debris straight out of there. If you're new to the channel, hit the bell and the subscribe button. I work exclusively for the motor trade and deal with nothing but part exchanges and cars that have come from auction halls, etc. And I tend to be only given the absolute projects, or as we call them, sheds, hospital jobs and stuff like that. So all the vehicles on the channel will always be quite bad, and the variety is quite good as well. So some cars will be, for example, like this, really heavily stained or quite soiled, and other vehicles will be very badly scratched, wheels need refurbishing and such like that. So there's quite a different variety of what's going on. So the spray foam cleaner I'm using is very similar to what you would use on an electrical keyboard on a computer. It's super safe, it's not going to do any damage to the electrics, and for example, when there's a lot of ingrained dirt around the USB port or some of the switch gear on the car, it's going to help loosen all the dirt from in there without doing any sort of damage to the electrics. The product's really good for also really hard to reach areas, sort of like around a handbrake or possibly a door pocket, things like that, or in like the vents in the car. You could just spray a bit in there, leave it for a little while, then come back and agitate it with a brush and either use the airline or a slight bit of detergent on a cloth to sort of wipe it out afterwards. It's just very good at sort of loosening things up. And sometimes if you leave it for a little bit longer, it works a bit better as well. It just sort of eats into that ingrained stuff and helps get it out. So now I'm cleaning the larger plastic areas in the car. I tend to use 2 microfibers and a bucket. with warm water, and how I do it is just literally dunk the microfibers in the bucket, rinse them out so they're very slightly damp, use some interior cleaner and a sprayer. It's an all-purpose cleaner. I'm currently using a product called Billet Hamba Surfex HD. It's actually really good. So what I tend to do is, if it's a delicate area, maybe spray the detergent straight onto the damp microfiber and then just rub it over that particular bit. However, if there's no switch gear or anything too near to it, it's quite safe to spray the all-purpose cleaner straight out of the gun and then just give it an agitation with the brush and just wipe the debris and the muck off with the cloth. So to start with, I'm just spraying the whole door card with APC cleaner and then just wiping it over with the microfiber. It's just getting off the dust and the really loose stuff which is on the surface. I'm then going to use the airline just to sort of blow anything out of the cracks which the APC's gone into, and also inside the door pockets. They tend to be quite hard area to get into all the side grooves of it, and the airline's just fantastic at blowing all that out. So I'm using the airline here to directly push the dirt out the fabric. You can use a wet vac extractor in this area, but I tend to find that sometimes on these lighter interiors, as the material dries, it can still bring some of the dirt to the surface and they restain quite easily. With using the airline instead, it sort of gives you a good accurate indication of what the end result's going to look straight away. So with an interior that's this grubby, I'm going to need to pre-soak everything and give it a good scrub. So when I come along with the extractor, it's got every chance it can at really pulling out all the dirt. Also, with something this dirty, it's going to be a multi-pass sort of affair. You're going to be soaking them and scrubbing them and extracting 2 or 3 times to get all the goop out of the seats. It's not going to be done in one go. So on a car like this where the seats are so soiled and you've done 2 or 3 passes to try and get all the muck and crud out the seats, I'll do 2 things. I'll run the car up with the internal heater on to dry it out, especially if it's winter time. If it's summertime, just leave it outside with the windows open, obviously, and it will just dry naturally. And secondly, just give it a good visual inspection, because I can guarantee you, even doesn't matter how much you spend scrubbing and cleaning this car, when it dries there'll always be some little mark here or there that you sort of missed, because once these kind of seats get wet, some of these stains become transparent, as strange as it seems, and you just can't see them. So you always need to give it a good visual inspection once it's dry, just to make sure you've got as best you can all the sort of debris out, and the dirt and the muck and the filth. So these 2 buckets of filth is purely the extracted water out the seats. It's not the carpet or the door cards or anything like that. It's just literally what's come out of all the seats in the car. That's what they were driving around in and sitting in every day of the week. And the car's finished. So I've just taken a bit of footage of the outside so you can see what it looks like. Ironically, the outside of the car was really quite clean, so in this scenario all I've done is give it a good full valet wash, which means the door shuts have been washed out, the wheel arches, the wheels themselves, the engine bay, that's all been dressed, and then it's just received a normal hand sort of polish. And we're on to the inside. So the vehicle's been run up and dried out, a few marks have been re-cleaned. It's not perfect in here, but it's not bad. I think with some of the marks and damage the vehicle's had, it's never going to be perfect. But it's a good turnaround. I was given a budget of a day to work on the car, no more than that. And the end result from before and after I think is pretty good. Leave your comments in the section below.